So for us, I think the most important part was that we wanted somebody who is specialized in the area that we live in. I mean, in the past, we have dealt with other real estate agents in different areas of the GTA, but for Oakville, we wanted to ensure that the agent specializes in the area. So we did our research, we called a few well-known agents in the area, but in our mind, Elite3 stood out for a variety of reasons. For me or for us, the main reason was that Elite3 came out very sincere, and their presentation was very good, and we found them very enthusiastic, right? And one of the best thing that they do is when they refer to our house, they called it our house, right? So already there was a sense of ownership that they displayed, and especially Sameera was quite impressed, really, I mean, those were some of the things that we looked at when we selected, Elite3 to represent us.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you're going to get into some kind of business relationship, the most important factor for me is the human touch. It's not just the papers or the property that we're dealing with, but we're dealing with human beings. So that is what I found, the connection, that I'm dealing with human beings and people, real people, as opposed to papers and sketches and diagrams and spreadsheets with numbers. So that's what we got from other agents. But that human touch is what I always look into any kind of relationship when it comes to business relationships. So that touched me. That really sold Elite3 to me. I would start with the professionalism. Everything was done very professionally, though there's a human touch element, which I said, but not to lose the focus on the professionalism and customer service, which again they were great with. I never once found that they are slacking or lacking in their concentration or focus in terms of communication or sending us what we wanted or whatever information we looked for, we got it immediately, almost immediately, as if they're working only for me and nobody else. So that was really, really good.
Yeah, and really I found them to be like a well-oiled machinery where the different elements were all brought together seamlessly, and the overall output was as Sameera talked about efficiency. Certainly organization was very good, the flow of information. For example, we were provided with a calendar of forthcoming events or like open houses, for example, and when the reminders will be coming out to us, or the representatives will be coming to us for the preparation to the open houses. So all that information was very well laid out, and communication was certainly excellent. In terms of the staging, that certainly was quite impressive, very, very impressive. I mean, look at the amount of the articles and including some of the furniture items that was used for the staging. That was certainly very impressive. So we really liked the professionalism that was displayed by the entire team.
Yeah, I mean, again, they have, I think, another person who comes and looks into the house as a third-party perspective and looks as what is missing or what needs to be enhanced. Though you could have a good house in your own eyes, but they look it from the buyer's perspective and add on, the accentual features to your house. And I think that makes your house really look beautiful. It's just like putting your house on a ramp for modeling.
So first of all, I think it all starts with the trust level, right? And for us, we just like Elite3 in our eyes were committed to us. We were committed to Elite3 as well, right? So there was certainly a great deal of trust, and we were relying on the advice that we were receiving from Elite3. For example, there was a house that sold in our neighborhood, and there was a concern that, okay, how would the price play out? And we were advised that, hold on, let's see what happens to the other house in the neighborhood before we strategize in terms of what we want to do, right? So those kind of a timely advice was provided to us, and certainly, for us, because the trust level was so high, we truly followed that advice. So I think that was a critical component for us, right? And what I also realized as we moved through the offer stage and then going through the conditional offer and so on and solidifying that offer, the advice really was provided in a very timely manner and with reasoning, right? So it was one thing saying, okay, here's my recommendation, but when you provide and back it up with some reasoning, I think it's quite helpful, right, for the sellers.
Yeah, because sellers are always confused about whether this is a good offer or no, and if you want to say yes or no. But then if you give an objective advice to someone who's actually selling as to why this is good or why this is not so good, and we can wait on it, that gives you a really clear perspective of how the market is looking at your house. And we both actually really appreciated those advices from Elite3 team. And well, here we are today. We sold our house to the price that we wanted. Oh, well, absolutely. If I had good results, what is stopping me from recommending you Elite3 to anybody? Definitely I will. And actually, even we will use them again.
Exactly, that's what I was going to. So first of all, we will recommend it to ourselves. You never know, right? I mean, we could be in the market again, but certainly, yes, absolutely, we will recommend Elite3 to whoever knows us, right? And because at the end of the day, the way we look at it, right, is when we refer anybody to anybody, right? It's also your own credibility, right? So I don't want to be seen as somebody, who doesn't know, who refers to somebody else who's not credible in my own eyes, right? Or just because somebody asked for a reference, okay, here's a reference for you. No, it doesn't work that way, right? So when we provide our reference to anybody, we want to be absolutely sure that we will be using the same person or that organization before we refer to anybody. So credibility is the key, right? So credibility is key of the people we will refer, but it's on our credibility as well, right? Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.